And in this being a wild year of us producing insane results for our business in rapid time, I wanted to lean into one particular client story that is wild and that can help us learn and open our eyes to see what's freaking possible in the first 3 months of this year. I want to talk about what's freaking possible now through March if we actually take action and we have a strategy, and I'll talk through the how of what we did. But first, let's talk about this client. So this is what happened. She started talking with me in 2020. She wasn't getting the results she wanted in her business. She came to me in 2021 and we started working together in March of 2021. Before she worked with me in 2020, she had already locked in $50,000 in her website and branding design business, which is really good as a service provider. $50,000 is definitely something to be celebrating. But for her, her particular goal was to become the breadwinner for her family while her husband was in college, and she wanted to be able to demand more premium pricing. She had some big freaking goals, and she knew that if I continue and repeat what I did in 2020, I'm gonna get the same results I got in 2020, which was $50,000. But for her, that wasn't enough. She wanted more, and she wanted to scale her business. So she got support in 2021, and here's what happened. So she worked with me in March. We're already 3 months into the year. We worked together for 12 weeks, so we're up to the 6-month mark in the year. At the end of working together at 6 months, she had already locked in her entire revenue for the entire year previously. So she literally locked in $50,000 in 6 months versus 12 months, which she had done in 2020. Literally shaving off 6 months of the timeline. That's insane. But remember, that wasn't her goal. So yes, it was a huge celebration to say, like, wow, I just shaved off 6 months of my timeline and hit the same revenue mark. Amazing win. But here's, that's not my goal. I'm out here to get 100,000 this year because of my personal family needs and what I want to step into what I'm capable of. So here's the cool thing. Everything that we had done together March to the summer, everything she had learned, all the clarity, all the strategy, all the framework she had learned, the confidence she had built, she was able to then continue to repeat and replicate and refine and do. It's not like you just learn what to do, but now you know how to do it. And she continued to implement what her and I had worked on together for the remainder of 2021 and literally sent me the message saying, I'm hitting my 6-figure year. Thank you so much. So what did we do when it actually came to strategies we implemented that you could be implementing today? Small little tweaks that you could be making today to totally shift your results. The number one thing that we did together was we got clear on who she was actually here to serve. And I get it. You've heard that before. You're like, Teresa, I know. I'm supposed to be talking to the person I'm here to serve. Do you know them? How well do you know them? Because I have worked with over 100 women in business, and I can tell you, none of them have come to my first call with them with information that they need to actually know what their avatar's desires are, goals are, symptoms are, pains are, buyer types are. All of those things are so important and are a needed ingredient in your messaging, your content, and the way that you show up on social media, and you need to have it. So she got really clear on who she was here to show up for and started showing up every single freaking day consistently with discipline for that person, knowing exactly what to be saying to relate to them based on their desires, pains, symptoms, etc. The second thing that we did together, she actually got clear on the objective for why she was creating content, actually having a purpose and an understanding of that. This style of content is going to produce me this type of result, and stop just chasing the viral obsession. So many women in this online space are like, let me grow. If I go viral, I will have sales. If that was the case, we'd have a lot more $1 million entrepreneurs out here, wouldn't we? Because it's not, okay? Just going viral does not automatically equal sales. And she had been focusing on growing. She had a community, and now she needed to convert that audience. And so that's what we started doing together. We actually started creating content that was going to build knowledge, trust, and position her as the authority in an oversaturated space. And then we started to actually convert them in her content. We're not talking long DM messages where we're convincing. We're saying we're crushing objections, and we're getting them to say heck yes by just reading and watching her content. So that's what we did. The third thing that we did together, and I think this one was the most important, is she started to be showing up on Instagram stories, which is the #1 format getting engagement right now. PS, if you didn't know that, you should. And it's the #1 way to be selling on Instagram. And so up into this point, she wasn't really confident and wasn't really comfortable with selling on stories. But also when she did show up on stories to talk about her offer, what was she doing? Like many of us, she was selling the deliverables. this is my offer, this is what you get, this is when you can start, deliverable. And so what we decided to do is consistently show up in a personal, relatable way that works for selling. The format is known for working for selling. And we shifted to her starting to sell her offer as a solution, as the transformation that her ideal client needed and wanted, versus it just being deliverables. And everything's freaking shifted for her business. The best part about this, and what's crazy about this, is that she already was doing so many things right. And oftentimes we are in business. She was showing up daily. I love that. Consistency, discipline. I love that when a client comes to me and I'm like, I can see that you were disciplined AF, which means we're going to be able to accelerate this baby fast. Also, had an amazing service offering and was creating such amazing results for her clients. But the sad thing was she didn't know how to actually translate that. She didn't know how to actually relay the transformation that she was going to be able to create for her clients and actually attract the right clients that she knew she wanted to work with on social. And so because she already had things in place, right? She already had the willingness, the passion, the discipline, right? We got to work together. It was just a few simple shifts, like I talked about here, that we were able to do. And that's why we were able to see her results exponentially change in just 3 months working together. I really want to make sure this just gets grounded here, that sometimes it's not doing more things, right? It's about changing what we're currently doing and doing it differently. Okay. So if you're doing something every day, if you're showing up on social media, if you're creating content, right? If you're pitching your services and you're not seeing leads and sales, which you should, if you're doing your job right when it comes to marketing and sales on social media, if you're not seeing those results, then it's not necessarily about adding more things to your to-do list, which is already probably pretty busy. The women that come to work with me are like, I'm already maxed out. It's not about adding more or doing more. It's about changing what you're doing. And that's what we did. We took a look at the content she was already creating on a daily basis and made simple shifts, right? Based on strategy. We took a look at how she was already selling her offer, the format she was selling it on, and the way she was selling it with her messaging. And we made simple shifts. Right? We took a look at what she was doing on a daily basis and decided what things were money-making activities versus not, and shifted and reprioritized, right? It wasn't about always adding more, but it's about changing what you're doing to be able to produce more results. It's about approaching how you're showing up on social media and how you're marketing your business and how you're selling your services from a place of strategy, from fundamentals, from psychology, right? In this space, we are always chasing silver bullets and trends and tips that the gurus are preaching that literally change on a whim all the time. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why can't we go back to the fundamentals? Why can't we go back to the strategies? Why can't we approach our marketing and messaging from a framework that is proven, that's going to help us produce our results and in record-breaking time? When we have a strategy, when we approach our marketing and our sales from fundamentals and principles that are time-tested and proven, when we know who we're here to serve, how to show up, how to speak to them based on their buyer types, how to be selling our offer as a solution, doing it consistently, but then also having support and accountability and community that comes from an investment in a coaching program, etc. Those ingredients help us step into a new year and get our results in collapse time like my client had. And so this is the invitation and the message for you, that if you're sitting here, it's the first week of January and you're like, you know what, I don't want 2024 to be the same as 2023. I know what I'm freaking capable of and what's possible for me. And I see all these other women doing it. And I'm feeling like I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm doing all the things and I feel like I've got this, but it's not hitting the mark. And again, if you're doing your job right, you should be seeing leads and sales from your marketing and social sales. Then we need to have a conversation, okay? Visit the link in my bio, DM me, let's freaking talk about how we can make the first 3 and 6 months of this year so freaking powerful for you, and be able to achieve goals that you didn't even think were possible in that amount of time. Because this is not just this story. I have countless stories of clients who have reached their goals, doubled their income, tripled their bookings, spent half as less time doing it. You can go to my website, you can take a look at these, but it's so freaking possible. And I want that for you. And I don't want you sitting in March and thinking, wow, this feels a lot like 2023, and feeling like giving up and feeling defeated only because you didn't ask questions, you didn't get the support, and you didn't make simple shifts in your marketing and sales that can totally expedite your results. So let's freaking talk.